It's probably one of these talking Banter Blitzes. Hi, everybody. Apologies for the delay. If you're watching this live, I'm starting like 20 minutes late. And I don't have a good excuse other than old age and a lot of stuff happening, honestly. I was playing with my daughter. She had like a big fake tea party. Is that a word or is that like a loaded term? I don't know. She had a lot of teacups and some fake cakes on the ground. And I was trying to explain to her that these might be some lonely weeks coming up because she's gonna hang around at home with mommy and me. So, no good excuses. Just forgot the time. This is Banter Blitz, of course. My name is Jan Gustafsson. You can challenge me to a lovely game of, what's it called? Chess. 1 second, I'll be fully focused within seconds. Maybe not. Anyway, you can challenge me to a lovely game of chess if you happen to be a Chess24 Premium member. My username is Jan. If you happen to not be a Chess24 Premium member, you can become one by using my voucher code JANISTAN, JANISTAN. You get 15% off. So, it's weird times, huh? As you can imagine, a lot of balls in the air. This morning, it was unclear to me if maybe I was going to play Bundesliga to replace somebody, or maybe I was in the lineup anyway. And then Bundesliga is the highest German league. And then, like half an hour later, I learned that the weekend was cancelled, which I agree with, obviously. I'm as clueless as anybody else, but I've been reading up as well as I could, listening to my podcast, Sam Harris, Joe Rogan on the coronavirus, and I tweeted out this one article. It does seem like it's very serious, and from what I understood about it, once again, no clue. But from what I understood is that it is important to delay the spread, and we should do whatever we can. Obviously, lots of implications. What will happen with the candidates? Will it happen? I have no reason to believe it won't happen. I think it certainly will, but it's so hard to plan. There's many balls in the air that I can't really talk about, people stuck in places and so on and so forth. So it's just weird, confusing times. And I might very well be confused enough that I don't know. The show is not running, I haven't switched on sound. All that good stuff. I have no clue. Also, something's on my keyboard. Oh, we have Mr. Dodgy, who was asking if I am a doctor. I should get a doctor, right? So I don't have to add I'm not a professional microphone adjuster disclaimer all the time. But no, not a doctor. I am a bit of a hobby virologist. I think that's fair to say. I've played a lot of Plague X on my phone, for example. So I feel qualified on all these topics. No, I don't think it's a good joking topic. I'm just confused, mildly worried, not so much about myself, but about my parents, older people, all that stuff. I had my daughter still in kindergarten today, which kind of felt wrong already, but we didn't really have a choice, or there's always a choice, but I don't know, like there's a lot of stuff to arrange, and it's confusing times. Chess Time 2212 is asking, do you know anything about the Granke Chess Open? I haven't heard anything confirmed. Your guess is as good as mine. My best guess is it won't happen, like we're, in my opinion, rightly cancelling all kinds of events, and the Granke Chess Open. It's a pretty big one. So, with that expert analysis of the situation, another analysis of the situation, by the way, is my voice is weird, which is worrying a little bit in regards to candidates. But so far we're operating under the assumption that candidates will happen and that we will have a crack commentators team with the likes of Vladimir Kramnik, Magnus Carlsen calling it, Lawrence Trent, Nigel Short, and so on and so forth. So I'm still very much looking forward to that. It's just so much more complex. Like, is it safe for me, or is it even proper behavior? Not so much safe, but am I behaving responsibly, going back and forth to the studio or not? Like, yeah. It's strange times. I'm listening to this podcast, some German virologist every day, but even he sounds slightly more freaked out every day, which is freaking me out. The experts all seem freaked out, like that dude on the Sam Harris podcast or on the Joe Rogan podcast. I don't know. I think we better treat this seriously. Have I mentioned I'm not a doctor? I hope it's nothing too. I have this other theory, which probably people will think I'm too crazy, so maybe I shouldn't share it. Nah, I will. My theory is I already had the coronavirus in like January, because I came back from my December Thailand vacation, as you do, and I felt really crappy, which I'm kind of used to. Like, I had a cold and then it goes downstairs. But I had some serious trouble breathing, and like around 10th of January. And I went to the doctors, and I think I talked about this on the show. They said I might have a case of asthma, which sounds confusing. Like, I've been a smoker for many years, which I know is not healthy. I haven't smoked for a while. But yeah, I didn't think it was likely. So my theory is that I am patient zero, and I had corona before it was cool. But obviously, I don't have a clue. So let's play some chess. What about this guy? Sebas Gonsapi. Drunk Duck is asking, Jan, do you have some insider info if second Bundesliga is cancelled? No, just what I read on Twitter. It's not connected to first Bundesliga, because second Bundesliga is Schachbund, while first Bundesliga is Schachbundesliga. They're their own little club. So I don't know. I read that it's decided tonight, but I do not know. D4, pretty good move. So Dodgy is saying there are natural risks involved with spending 14 days in a room with Lawrence. They outweigh the coronavirus. I do agree. Then again, like, you know me, Mr. Dodgy, how much worse do you think it could get for me? Like, losing my mind is not really a scenario that I should be too concerned about for lack of mind, no? That's how I feel about it, at least. By the way, Sebas Gonsapi, are you here? Teja Ravi number 2 is asking why d4 is good. I'm assuming that's a question and not a statement. It's a great move because your pawn is occupying the center. It is physically occupying the d4 square. It controls the e5 square and the c5 square. And very importantly, the pawn is covered on d4 by the queen. So it can't easily get pushed around like this e-pawn. If you carelessly advance that, who knows what could happen. Sebas is not here. Sorry, Sebas, or probably sorry. Sorry, Jan, for that I was late. He's challenged again already? That's very confusing. I don't like my new raspy voice. Sounds strange to me. Santander is saying, it will be great to hear Lawrence again though. I could not disagree more. But we mainly, let's face it, we're using him as Magnus bait because Magnus likes messing with Lawrence's head as much as the next man. So we think the more Lawrence, the more Magnus will call it. I'm kidding. I actually like talking to Lawrence, like on the air, obviously off the air. He will drive you insane. But on the air, I usually have a great time. And I think, well, it depends how we split up the segments. He's also supposed to host some segments about our fantasy chess and some previews and so on. But I think it will be a good balance between chess competence, the form of Kramnik, hopefully Magnus, and utter lack of chess competence. Like, we wanted an average sort of grandmaster like myself, then some world-class players, and an average club player like Lawrence. So I think we put together a really, really healthy roster there. So, do we have any virologists watching? Probably we do, right? They're all chess nerds. Lawrence Trent is asking why Lawrence has been fired from Chess24. No such thing ever happened. He left us to work for the great Fabian Caruana. And since that ended, I think he's been, all over the place in many different places in the chess world, but he's certainly never been fired. And we're always happy to have him. Imagination is saying, I love you, Jan. Thank you. That means a lot. Imagination. I'm not sure it's mutual yet, but I'm pretty sure we can get there. My voice annoys me though. Are there any voice doctors out there? How can I fix this? Can I take the pawn? Sorry, I'll start talking more about chess eventually, but yeah, I'm so distracted by all this stuff going on. Also, I do get my intel on the candidates. I heard that Maxim and Jan Nepomniachtchi are already in Yekaterinburg. Anish Giri safely made it to Moscow, and I think we'll go there tomorrow. I have not heard updates on Caruana. I'm not sure if he was trying to travel from the US or if he's already in Europe, assuming he's already in Europe, but no idea. And let's see what we got. Yashak is saying, well, I'm a molecular biologist, but for plants. That's close enough. Is it? I don't know. And Alvin K is saying, invertebrate biologist here. That sounds like smart stuff. So tell me what to do. Smart people. How lockdowny should the lockdown get? Should I stay at home? Should I do the unthinkable? Have Lawrence Trent in my home? Nah. I think it's okay going to the studio. I'm not that worried, other than the mental health thing, of spending time around the guys. I'm more worried, or worry is strong, but I want to be a responsible citizen and not contribute to the spread about the commute. And most worried at all I am about filter activated. Il Grande Maestro is saying, Caruana is trying to travel via Prague, but the Czech Republic is going on lockdown tonight, I heard. Yeah, I just read that. They closed the borders to Germany. At least they don't want anybody to come into Czech Republic, right? I guess you can still travel via the Prague airport, especially if it's, I don't know. I don't freaking know. No one knows anything. And Drunk Duck is saying, are you willing to sell 50% of Chess24 for 2 rolls of toilet paper? I think it's a bargain. If I had 50% of Chess24, I would have a lot of toilet paper. Is that connected? I don't think that's connected. I think my toilet paper stash is solid. Is toilet paper being sold out in good old Germany as well? I have seen in Australia there was this big attack on an aisle of toilet paper. Not sure it's a thing here. Phoenix89 is saying, if someone drops out last minute, they will probably postpone the whole tournament. Well, if Caruana, of all people, is not able to get there because of travel restrictions, we can't have the tournament, I think. That's fairly clear. But my best guess, which is based on zero intel, is that, the tournament is going ahead, which would also be logical in a way, right? It's quote unquote only 8 players. I don't think there's going to be millions of spectators on site. Most of the guys are already there or already on their way at the very least. And my best guess is we'll still have coronavirus in 2 months, right? So postponing it till then, you don't know if that's a better solution. I don't freaking know. I think it's completely right that all these even slightly bigger gatherings are being cancelled, like Chess Bundesliga and so on. But to not go through with the candidates, I might be biased because I'm still looking forward to it. But it would feel strange at this stage. Also, I have a feeling, once again, no intel, that FIDE is fairly committed. Lunatics is saying Czech Republic is totally locked down. So that probably means no traveling via Prague for Fabi. Imagination is saying, I could have invested in hand sanitizer a few weeks ago, and then bought Chess24, missed opportunity. Yeah, I have these Feuchttücher, which normally, let's face it, we all know the reason you have them on their desk. But nowadays, it's for sanitary reasons. Is it? I don't freaking know. I do wash my hands like a crazy person. Even though this one, it's hard to wash. Don't checkmate me, sir. The Henker is saying, it feels so nice and safe to have a stock of at least something. I have a lot of stocks. It doesn't feel that nice and safe these days, the Henker. I'm sure I'm not the only one. It's been another tough day out there. Hang on, is this self-made? Rook a2, rook c8, king g7, bishop f8. Close enough, right? That should be avoided. Grandmaster Lunatics is saying they lock the borders. You can't really go out. You cannot get in. I'm not sure about airports. Yeah, that's a question of like commuters will still make it through, right? Danka is saying, no, you're really prepared for doomsday when you have a stock of toilet paper. LOL. I hear you. Yashak is saying, so what do you want to know about COVID-19, Jan? I feel fairly well self-educated at this point. For me, it's more the practical questions. Like I've decided my daughter is no longer going to kindergarten. Today was the last day. I'm going to guess it's all going to go on lockdown anyway. But we will very much try to keep her home. What I'm wondering about, like, is it safe / does it make sense to ask my mom to babysit her? Or is it better to keep her away from the grandkids right now? Because, kids, as far as I understand, they can't really get the virus or a bad case of it, but they can still be very contagious. Then, what am I wondering? Does it make sense for me to commute to the office, or shall I push harder for like a solution? To sit in my basement, which I think I'll be going to the office, to the studio if candidates happen. But there also, is it better to take taxis, to have someone drive me, or should I take the train, as I usually do? Those are the questions on my mind. Also, how tough should I be on my mom not to leave the house? I think I have the same questions like everyone. Why didn't I sell all my stocks like 2 weeks ago? These problems. Mr. Dodge is saying, kids can be contagious and also rather sticky. Tell me about it. They have very poor like personal hygiene, these kids. Alvin K is saying, we'll send Trump over to Europe to straighten out the coronavirus mess. Yeah, I normally don't get all that political, but come on, like having this guy in charge now is not great. And apologies to URS37 that I didn't talk about the game. I'm so distracted. There's not even NBA to distract me. What can I do? Anyway, I will talk about the next game. If slow down, which I think is the motto these days, no? Slow down the spread. If slow down does not slow the show down too much, it shows up. Hans-Eric Hilberg is saying, this is a good time to educate your daughter on chess with the lockdown. I don't know how long the lockdown is going to last. During the candidates, I'll be very busy. I'm still assuming that, at least. Therefore, I'm not sure I'll have much time to teach my daughter chess. Outside of that, I don't know. I think she's still a little young. She's 3.5. I can't notice a giant interest, but who knows? Yashak is saying, you seem to be quite well informed, Jan. Yeah, I think so too, but we're all very curious. And like I said, I listen to this podcast with this German virologist every day, and also he's changing his opinions, which I think is a good thing, as things evolve and as he gets new information constantly. So I'm not sure anybody's really well informed. And as for well informed, this is the so-called Sveshnikov. Pretty good opening. I believe Mr. Magnus Carlsen used it as his main weapon in the last World Championship match. And, I don't like it all that much for aesthetic reasons, like the horsey here on d5. It's so powerful. But I believe that theoretically it's in fairly good shape. We all know that, or many of us will know, that knight d5 was the center of debates in the World Championship match, while this bishop g5, rook b8 is another fairly topical line. Bishop e2, yeah, this move is designed against white going a4 because then you can take on b2. It's also designed against white going h4. That sounds strange, I know. But one point is if you go, let's say, castle here. I can't analyze because the game is still going. Bishops, knight c2, rook b8, then h4 is a serious move. So by bishop g5 and rook b8, you're trying to stop both these things. I think it's up there as a main line, together with the two other I mentioned. As for this position, I don't know. What does Magnus do here usually? Knight e7, bishop e6, bishop b7. Here maybe? Looks a bit strange, frankly. Bishop e6 looks more natural. Grandmaster is saying, Jan Lawrence commentating on non-existing chess matches for 6 hours. That will be tough for the spectators. Fair enough. Point taken. Fortunately, it's not just Jan and Lawrence. There are some world champion power in the mix, at least. That is very much the plan. And Mr. Dodgy is saying, I'll still tune in. That's great to hear. Easy Rider 27 is saying, Jan does not need a chess game to commentate. We all know that by now. Yeah, I'm still torn if that's a good or a bad thing. Like, obviously, I like to talk about whatever random, or not so random. These days, not so random. Whatever stuff is on my mind. But I also quite understand that people get annoyed and saying, please, could you talk about chess once in a while? That's why I'm watching this show. Because I feel a bit similarly for my NBA podcast. They spent a lot of time discussing the TV show Power, which I haven't been watching. I sometimes think, tell me something about the NBA, which has been cancelled. Rudy Gobert, the first NBA player to contract the coronavirus. And apparently, he was touching a lot of stuff in the locker room, hugging a lot of teammates. Donovan Mitchell also got it, but the other 58 people that were tested for it, by the way, someone testing for it in the US, kudos, were negative. So there you go. I listened to the Daily today, the New York Times podcast. Some very strange story about tests and laboratories not being allowed to develop their own tests, and one went rogue and had one, and then they were told they can no longer do it. Like, it sounds like they really missed a month of testing. Back. I should stop talking about Corona and talk more about Caruana, who, if he makes it to Yekaterinburg, still is the favorite to win those candidates, I believe. What did Magnus call it? Caruana 1A, Ding 1B. I think that's more or less the consensus. And then after that, people are unsure if they should list Grishuk, Giri, MVL. But yeah, everyone seems to agree pretty much that Caruana then Ding are the favorites. That's also the conclusion we got to in our previous series for the candidates with Laurent and Peter Heine. We recorded some stuff today. We recorded a video on Maxime, which was a lot of fun. It is in editing because obviously we were all in different locations. So got a little messy, but it was fun to see the guys in decent spirits. This guy's playing well, by the way. Slow down. 1484. Did you slow me down into a fast sense of security? I want to go bishop c4 and take on b2. Imagination is saying, candidates happening as scheduled, yes? We don't know. Currently, I would assume so. But you know what happens when we assume. I also kind of assumed that I'd be traveling to Viernheim tomorrow morning. I assumed wrong. Lawrence Strand is saying, if the candidates is cancelled, would Lawrence, Vladi and Nigel do 18-day Bantathon? I was actually thinking, I don't think that's going to happen. But if I'm supposed to stay at home for whatever, 4 or 6 weeks anyway, might as well lock myself into the basement and just, play Banter Blitz all the time. John Tadros is saying, hello Jan, why don't accept my friendship? Why am I not accepting your friendship, John Tadros? Oh, on chess 24? I think in my defense. Or is it really in my defense? Probably not. Can I take some material? I'd like some material. I can't, yeah? Okay. 1 second. We'll discuss our friendship agreement in a minute, John Tadros. I have to focus on this game for a second. Rook b1. Yeah, still has rook d1. I don't win material. That's very upsetting. Take on d1, then rook d8. Problem is I'm also kind of back rank vulnerable. But it's not so easy for our boy to avoid rook takes d1 being a check. Mr. Dodgy is saying, for maximum memes, Giri starts with 3 out of 3, then begins cuffing on everybody. Actually, we talked, expressing myself in a very Russian way, but we talked about that exact scenario with Anish. That there was this letter where I think ACP was asking for FIDE to ensure the players get home safely, and sort of mockingly, but also half seriously, I asked him how desperate he would be to get home safely as soon as possible. If he had I don't know, let's say 7.5 out of 10, and there's 4 rounds to go, and you start coughing a bit, you kind of want to finish the tournament, no? At least that would be my guess. So yeah. Fun times, as fun stuff is saying. Hang on, I took a piece, no? It finally happened. Slow down. Played a very good game. But then did slow down a little. Dodgy is saying ACP are using the hashtag #StopChessNow, which is a cool way to promote chess. That should have been my hashtag the last 7 years, no? I'm upset I didn't think of that. What's going on here? All right. Let's play more chess. Hashtag play chess now. Mert Feline, where you at? Sleepy Mario saying, yeah, not today it seems. You never know. Maybe tomorrow. Ugh, I have so much stuff to do. I have some stuff to do to finish that MVL video. Then I'm behind on my opening clinic. Then, as you can imagine, there's a lot of behind the scenes talking about who flies where, when, why, what. So yeah, time's be busy. Then I have my daughter, filthy kids, running around, demanding that, what's it called, attention. It's a hard knock life. Il Grande Maestro is saying Wang Hao is leaving his seconds at home. Hot take, Wang Hao never had any seconds. He was gonna go alone the whole way, but now he's trying to make it sound like, big concession. That's my theory, Wang Hao, and I am sticking with it. Imagination is saying they should hold the candidates on Chess 24. Yeah, stakes is too high. It's so hard to do it online, and also, I don't know, it's not possible, of course. Like, you can have arbiters at people's houses, whatnot, but it's so strange to me. Then again, it's also strange to play the NCAA without spectators. Well, chess, of course, can very much be played online. It's so hard to wrap my head around it. Sudoji is saying, yeah, Wang Hao said, I don't want Gary or Vichy to suffer more than they need to. Yeah. What's this position? This all looks fairly theoretical. I used to be a bit of a Caro-Kann player. I used to know details here. These days are gone. So far away. Queen a6 looks fairly ridiculous. Can go c5, d5, knight e4, queen e4, knight f6. Maybe. Looks wrong, I'll admit. I also get this nagging feeling that Mert Feli knows what he's doing. Teja Ravi is saying, is Vichy in Germany? Do you meet him? I met him when we both played Bundesliga for Baden-Baden, whenever that was, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago probably. Not since. Cthulhu is saying, nice win for my girl, Sasha Goryachkina versus Zhu Wenjun today. Missed that. I'll go check it out later. Queen e2? That looks like it's losing tempo, huh? Kind of. Lucena position is saying, hi Jan, I hope everything alright over there. Yeah, it's all good. Like, just, trying to adjust as everybody else. I would like to ask, is Kramnik going to be able to make it to the Chess 24 studios if the candidates don't get cancelled? That's one of the big questions I am trying to deal with. Like, I can't give you a straight answer right now. I think it still depends a lot on what Switzerland, where he lives, decides, also what flights are out there. He will be on if it's remote or in the studio. I honestly do not know. I also do not know what the advice is. It's unprecedented times that we're living in. He will be on the show as of right now. I still don't know if in the studio or remotely. Obviously, the plan was for him to be in the studio. But crazy times, brah. I don't know why I said bra. I should make a move. I'm trying to calculate e5, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I'm weirdly attracted to it. Like, I'm sure you guys know that feeling. Sometimes you're just weirdly attracted to something. You gotta do it, even if it feels wrong. I don't know, like licking a pole at the train station. Pole? Imagination is saying, we need to make Jan more paranoid than normal. No, actually, like dealing with a pandemic doesn't make me more paranoid. It distracts me from, being deep inside my head as usual. So I feel rejuvenated, which is a sad, sad way to view the world. But just being honest with you. Cthulhu is saying, that's what my ex-wife used to say about me, Jan. Which one is it? Zomardan is saying, must be fun to be able to play decent chess. I can't really judge. And Kaiser Sosi, International Master, is saying, weirdly attracted to the coverage. Thank you, thank you. Far too kind. My voice is so weird, it's really annoying. So what haven't we covered? I think we've conclusively covered the coronavirus. It's real. We gotta slow that stuff down. And the one thing I believe that has not been talked about enough is that chess players can play a leading role in slowing the spread of this disease down, this virus. Because if there's one thing us chess players are serious experts in, it's social distancing. Like, I haven't hugged anybody in 15 years, for example. I haven't kissed anybody on the cheek in at least 32 years. So these things come natural to us. I'm sitting here in my basement because there's no place I'd rather be. Think I want to be out there clubbing? I want to be right here, play Blitz games on the internet. Therefore, I believe the rebuilding, that's too gloomy, but I believe chess players can be real role models in the behavior in the weeks and maybe months ahead. After all these years where they mocked us for it, not going to the gym, not going to any parties, not having any friends, not enjoying any physical contact. Now, that's the way to go. So, as I said, I'm feeling rejuvenated right at home. Finally, the others are the weirdos. What's going on here? I took a pawn. So I should be doing good, no? Il Grandmaster is saying, if so, can you take us through your thought process? Which one? If I did fill in the fantasy chess already. No, I didn't yet, but I will absolutely be doing it. I do enjoy a little fantasy chess. So, no, I haven't done it yet. Mr. Dodger is saying, what we gain in our isolation skills, we lose in hygiene. I don't know. I've developed OCD in like days. I've washed my hands literally 87 times today. I did take a bath this morning because it's annoying to shower with the thing. So I feel I'm crushing this corona behavior. Like, really, if you guys need any tutorials on how to deal with corona, ask me. Not you guys, like the big corona business. 17 seconds left, that's plenty. Wow, he resigns. What a sportsman, Mert Velin. Don't touch your face, that's also important. Then again, with my compulsive hand washing, how bad can it be to touch my face? I also have this new thing. If I go anywhere, which I don't, I wash my hands when I leave, and then I wash my hands at my new destination. So, ugh, these hands have never been cleaner. I'm not sure if that's true. Yasha is saying, regarding washing hands, saying you seem to have done something wrong here. Yeah, I broke my ring finger falling down the stairs, which was not ideal. And I was actually talking to the hand surgeon. I think that's his name. I didn't get any surgery, but I think he was called Mr. Hand Surgeon. And I asked him, it's Corona times. Can I wear this? I really want to keep washing my hands compulsively. And he said, not my problem. So that's where that ended. Let's play against Little K. Mr. Dodge is saying, Hans Surgeon, I know him. Wow, he has a way with words, that Mr. Dodgy. Past Pawn Pusher is saying, Jan, can you film a hand washing tutorial? I think I could. 20 seconds. Right now, my technique is a bit awkward because I only have the one good hand. So I do this. I do this. This I do a little longer than 20 seconds, but mainly for pleasure. Then I do this. Then I do this. This is the awkward part because I'm sort of touching myself with this not very clean thing. Then rinse and repeat, of course. We're playing against Litolk from France. Tisha is saying, hey Jan, what happened with your left hand? I fell down the stairs. I'm not gonna make up a new story every time I'm being asked. Today, I did that last time. Danka is saying it's like clapping with one hand, just different. Yeah, it's fairly similar. All right, it's a good show already. Little big theoretician, big expert on, what's this called? Slav? What do? They take? Looks normal. Lawrence Trent is saying Jan should be banned for what he did now. Which one? Which one thing? Which one thing? Sorry, my English is not great these days. I'm trying to mentally adjust to Lawrence Trent's level, so it can't be too good. Il Grande Maestro is saying, best sign I read until now. I didn't survive the 90s rave scene to be taken out by a virus named after a light beer. No, sorry, I'm not accepting it. Because I think we already ruled on the last show that Corona beer, coronavirus jokes. Can't do it. This position. Should I go g3 or h3 at some point? An aggressive player probably wouldn't. So, boom! g3 can maybe take. Lucina position is saying, sorry about the hand, I wish you a swift recovery. Yeah, discovery too. Yeah, thank you. It's all fine. I just have to wear this thing for, I don't know, 2.5 more weeks to get my finger straightened out. Now the castles feels like the h-pawn should continue his glorious march. c5 makes a lot of sense, trying to open, what's this called? The position. Oh boy. Chess Kids is saying, why trust the WHO on coronavirus? I mean, you don't even know who they are. Maybe that joke is funnier in writing than in reading out. But yeah, that was pretty funny. I'll admit it was pretty funny. Okay, let me checkmate you, please. Dumpty is saying coronavirus 2020 NBA champions. What did I just read? They said Rudy Gobert should definitely win NBA Defensive Player of the Year. He did shut the whole league down, which I thought was funny. Maybe it's funnier to basketball boys. Why am I always down to 19 seconds? I have to start making more chess moves in less time. I think that's becoming a real issue at this point. Ideally, I'd be making better chess moves, but I guess that's not really realistic to ask for at this point. Being John Flagovic had to get the job done. Thanks for the game. Lutolk, very well played. Let me find some strange. Do we have any strange? Kuro Makut. Red Ribbon 3700 is asking, why does the Fantasy League troll Geary? Does it? I haven't seen the questions yet. I'm gonna have to check that out. Yashak is saying, Jan, you mentioned Sam Harris, right? He just published a new podcast, an interview with Dr. Adalja about Corona. Quite interesting. Yeah, the last two, no, were both about Corona. The interview with Dr. Adalja, and he talked to somebody else before that. No, I listened to all that stuff. Also the Joe Rogan one. I'm not sure. What was his name? Michael Osterman? Sorry if I get the name wrong. I'm not sure I bought everything he was saying, but yeah, a lot of interesting stuff out there. In this position, I have the two bishops, which I like. Sometimes, you gotta throw in a little chess commentary to keep the chess boys watching. All right, back to my thoughts on coronavirus. I'm not sure if I've mentioned that I'm not a virologist, but I think it's serious. One thought I had, which maybe smarter people can explain this to me, I keep being told these masks are not effective, so do not use them. Leave them to medical personnel that really needs them. I understand the reasoning, but which one is it? If they're not effective, why should we leave them to medical personnel that really needs them because they're in close contact with the ill patients? Aren't they very effective? I also read glasses are effective. I want to have all kinds of stuff in my face. So please explain. Gombok 10 is saying, can we please play? And you're not a premium member of Gombok 10, but you can become one. chess24.com/premium. And then we can play a lovely game. You know how it is. All my Corona insights are not only free, but also priceless. But you know, to play a lovely game of chess, we still charge here. Lowenstein is saying they are not effective when it comes to protection. Yeah, that's what they keep telling me. Still not buying it. Don't worry, I'm also not buying a mask because I understand probably demand is high, supply is scarce, and we should leave them to medical personnel. But why they're not effective, the reasoning does not make sense to me. If I'm also hearing that the biggest danger is that people cough on you and then you have virus all over your face. Ugh. That creepy virus and its creepy envelope. Ugh. So what's new? FIDE cancelled senior championship finally. Was that the one in Czech Republic that was still going on with where they like split up the rooms? Yeah, cancel all that stuff. Come on. Mr. Dodger is saying, imagine how much you could make from putting the Corona insights behind a paywall. Or, even better, put the coronavirus behind a paywall. You have to pay to get it. I'm not sure if that works. I saw some guy on Twitter, some poker guy I think, who said, I will get the coronavirus for 250k and documented or something, and some other guy said, instantly took him up on it, thinking that's probably pretty good value for getting the coronavirus, no? Yasha is saying the simple masks are not very effective. The good masks are, but must be replaced several times per day. Wow, now you're really appealing to the doomsday prepper in me. Need 10,000 good masks in my basement. Actually, I'd like to get this. Do you guys watch the movie Contagion? I'm a sicko, so of course I rewatched it. I watched it in 2011. Kind of, forgot all about it. Now I rewatched it. And I like this outfit that Jude Law was wearing when he was walking around. Like this whole hat, helmet thing. I don't speak English, but you get the idea. So I think I want that. Gombok 10 is saying, do you see my comments? Yeah, very much so. I even nicely addressed them, explaining that I only play against premium members, so no need to ask 15 more times. Let's play against... Let's give this guy one more chance. Because one thing I learned from Peter Heine today, Peter Heine was very nice to us, especially to Laurent, whom he's normally just bullying. And I learned that in tough times, you gotta be nice. Or, as I think Trump said it, when the virus goes low, we go high. That's probably not what he said. He said it's 15 cases and they're going down, right? Down or up? Anyway, we were all wrong. Yashak is saying, you're not working in a hospital, Jan. How do you know? Have you seen the thumbnail for Jan's opening clinic, for example? Just keep washing your hands. You'll be fine. I don't know. No, I'm not intending to get any masks. I was being a little facetious about that. But that reasoning really did not make a whole lot of sense to me. That, yeah, they're not helping, so leave them to the medical personnel. That's the one that confused me. Brown Eye 12 is saying Trump is a genius because his uncle was a scientist. Yeah, according to Trump, the doctors keep telling him, how do you know so much about that stuff? Okay, I'll stop. Grandmaster Jan Ludwig Hammer is saying, I went to Hamburg and all I got was a government mandated quarantine. Quarantine? It's quarantine, right? Quarantine. I'm sorry to hear that, Jan Ludwig. Am I right assuming that your government mandated quarantine does not make you change your behavior drastically compared to what you would be doing with, I guess, the lockdown that Norway is in now anyway, or is it different? You're just staying at home, right? Please let us know, Jan Ludwig. Troctor is saying, just joined. Is this Banter Blitz Coronavirus Edition? Very much so. Hi, my name is Johnny Knoxville, and this is Shaking Hands. What is this theory? Bishop c3, e4, some stuff? Looks vaguely familiar. And Jan Ludwig saying you would be correct. Yes, yeah, that's what I was hoping for at least. Because if you're, I don't know, if you're locked up in some hospital or something, that sounds scary. But good to hear it's not affecting your movements all that much. Check, sir. Troctor is saying, I'm home with, I hope, a slight cold. Get that stuff tested. Unless you're in the US, we have... No, I should stop joking. I don't know stuff. Also, I think... Yeah, get that stuff tested is a silly thing to say. I guess staying home is the best we can do. Peter made me sub is saying, did you watch Joe Rogan podcast about the virus? Might be more dangerous than we thought. I've been talking about that for the last 8 hours. Where have you been? Peter made me sub. Cthulhu saying nothing better than propagating bro science. That's the only science I consume. Joe Rogan science, Bill Simmons science. Those are my scientists. Sam Harris and the smart guys I only turn to in times of crisis. Generally, I'm a Joe Rogan, Bill Simmons guy. E3, do you take that? Do you play F3? I don't effing know. I'll take. Faggy is saying, Jan, I lost 25k today at the stock market. Please cheer me up. Wow, that's a brag, Faggy, about how much money you had. I've stopped looking how much I lost, but yeah, it's not fun times. Like, fortunately, most of my money is in my house, not in the stock market, but it's tough times. I think Trump said it's all gonna go back up and at exactly the right time. So there you go. If you can't trust Trump in these times, who can you trust? Cthulhu is saying, has anyone made an Alex Jones reference yet? I haven't. I don't watch InfoWars very regularly. It's good stuff, yeah? I'm getting crushed here by Zebas, apparently, but okay. Can't have everything. We have a global pandemic to deal with. Can't also deal with whatever this opening is called. Now you're thinking? Knight g3 or queen e4, or what are you thinking? I was just assuming this would get blitzed out here. All right. Funstyle saying, also Jones said toothpaste can kill the COVID. What did I read about? What's good? Zinc? Is that the English word? I don't speak English. Some dudes in South Korea, they developed something good, no? See, I'm cutting edge information you're getting here. BTM98 is saying, I'm doing your course on Chessable, Jan. Glad to hear. Do you like it? I worked very hard on it. Chessable.com/Jan. I think that's where it's at. It's an E4, E5 repertoire. And now that we're all on lockdown, might as well learn some E4, E5. Should B5 stop playing so well, my boy. How am I going to win if you keep playing that well? My best guess is I'm not going to win. And I do like to win. So much winning. Gay Pawn is saying the chessable course is fantastic. Thank you, thank you. Glad to hear that. Reviews are pretty good. Check out the glowing reviews. Because if I do it, if I say that's the best course ever done, it's amazing how many secrets Grandmaster Gustafsson reveals. I wish every course would be like that. I don't know. I could sound a little full of myself. Well, if others do it, I'm not going to complain. I'm not even going to complain that Sebas Gonzapi is just completely destroying me here. You know, I have Corona to worry about. So, thank you, Corona. You've really distracted me from being me. That's how Jim Carrey must have felt on the set of what's called Man on the Moon. Like, don't you think at some point it's getting too obvious you're playing all the best moves? Sebas, I'm just, throwing it out here as a question. Not complaining, just, asking the question. Like a steady rhythm, all the best moves. Like, why exactly? That's what I'm curious about. But, not pointing any fingers here, but well played. Oh boy. So mods. Let's play someone else. Timing tells. That was mock coughing. I'm very healthy. I had the coronavirus like 2 months ago, as I told you guys. I'm not even joking about that. That's my theory. Cthulhu saying, damn, Jan got crushed there. Yeah, very much so. E4. Rotifan is saying, Jan is coughing. We're all almost dead. I understand. We need certain figures. We just need to lead in these times of need. Tom Hanks, Rudy Gobert, Jan Gustafsson. Where's it gonna end? Peter made me Sabas here, saying, I heard Sebas' trainer was Igor's Rouses. I don't know, could be. For Kettebar is saying, one can get infected several times from the corona though. Being sick one time doesn't save you. That's not true, is it? That's not what I heard. I think you're wrong about that. I think that's, yeah. I heard this topic discussed in some length as well. And obviously this could come out in tests on a clinical level, but the theory by my boy, the virologist, was that that's more of a mix-up, like whatever people, off tests or people being tested and then being let go and test again, they still have it. So not buying that. I could be wrong, obviously. Not a virologist here, but from all I heard is once you have it, you're immune. So if you have more intel on that one, I'd be curious. So let me know. Yashak is saying, that's not true. Okay, interesting. Is this a thing? NPCMD, I'm so greedy. I'll take your point. Teja Rav is saying, were you really affected? Where have you been isolated? Honestly, I don't know. I've told this story earlier in this show that after I got back from Thailand in early January, like I got back for Christmas, so the December 23rd, in early January I felt really bad. At some point it got so bad I had real trouble breathing that, yeah, my girlfriend sent me to, not the emergency room, but these night doctors, because it was a Sunday night. I don't go to the doctors much. So I went there and they checked me out and they diagnosed that I had asthma, which I was surprised by, or they suspected. It wasn't really a diagnosis, but they suspected I might have asthma, which I was surprised by. They gave me some stuff to inhale, which helped, and things sort of got better. But yeah, I was in some trouble for 2 months. I don't think I got, no, not for 2 months, for 2 weeks, feeling, just crappy. So I have no clue if I had it or not. But it felt strange. And I guess the timeline doesn't quite fit in early January. Well, what do I know? Now I'm hearing that the virus has been in Italy since early January, maybe. No clue. Anyway. Alvin K is saying, I've read that once you get over it, you can still have the virus in your system for 5 weeks and infect others. Yeah, that's also what I heard. But that is not the same as you can get it again, right? That's where I'm confused, what I was asking about. Micro is saying it's called latency periods, and it's the thing. Giroux90 is saying, Jan, can you please play against me? My coach is watching. Coach is watching. Generally, I just play against whoever I want. Just click on names. If the coach is watching, I don't know. I'll make an exception, but I feel bad about it because normally, then yeah, people will use that coach is watching line now. Anyway, let's make the coach happy. Raffaello is saying, you can't get it again, you'll be immune. And I should add, I'm being facetious. I don't think it was Corona that I had, because I've had these troubles in the past. So it might be, yeah, regular viewers of the show will be watching it, will be maybe even remembering that I think in September 2019 I was complaining a lot about it. I'm thinking more that all these years of smoking might not be such a great idea. But I do not really think that I had coronavirus. But still, maybe we're all being a bit paranoid. Of course, it makes you wonder if you had like shortage of breath in whenever it was January. Here, those are the symptoms. Micro saying, are you a heavy smoker? I haven't smoked in a while, but I certainly did smoke many a year. Oh, I should talk about the game. So I followed my good old chessable repertoire, I guess. He played d3. It's always a choice here if you start with bishop c5 or start with b5. Bishop c5, you allow bishop takes c6, which I think is fine for black, but I don't enjoy these structures that much. So I started with b5, c3, d6, short castles, and as usual, I cannot remember my own recommendations. But generally, if in doubt, I like to play h6 to stop bishop g5 in such positions. Micro saying, more than a packet at your best times. Yeah, easily. I'm not too keen talking about it, not because it's a big secret or I feel I have anything to hide. It's just really bad for you. Don't smoke. That's all I have to say. But yeah. Lucina Position is saying, does Kramnik still smoke, Jan? Any intel there? I do not know. Stewie0013 is asking, how did you quit smoking? Cold turkey. I think it's a process, and I don't think it's over. I don't think it's really ever over if you smoked for a long time. For me, yeah, usually it's the desire to stop smoking. And then, different attempts that book Ellen Carr, what's called finally non-smoker. That helps. It's neuro-linguistic programming, and I understand that, but it's still fairly effective if you read it for a while. And also, getting older, that I feel, how long can I keep this up without serious trouble? I have a daughter and I hate, having cigarettes around her, so I don't know. As I said, I think once a smoker, always a smoker, so even though I haven't smoked in quite a while, it's always with you, or that's how I feel about it. Jake Lones is saying, Jan, do you know if Corona arrived in Yekaterinburg? I haven't heard. My best guess would be no, from what we heard earlier, that it was trying to travel via Czech Republic, but that's a really tough thing to do. No, I only heard that MVL arrived and Nepomniachtchi, and that Giri was in Moscow, and I think he goes to Yekaterinburg tomorrow. So what's this position? What am I supposed to do? ED, D5, knight B8, could be a move, knight E7 maybe, DE. Somehow I'm attracted to this, which might just blunder a pawn. I don't like blundering pawns. D5 is also weirdly tempting. Let's go D5. The coach is watching. Gotta entertain Mr. Coach Boy. Troctor is saying, Jan, even though you're an NBA dude, I hope you can help with a college basketball question. I doubt it. I don't follow it. Since I look to you for analysis on all round ball topics. Wow. That's not a smart thing to do. With the major conferences canceling tournaments, how does this affect my betting strategy for March Madness? Can you still bet on March Madness getting cancelled? I have a feeling they will cancel it, even though they announced they will play without spectators. I'm not buying it. But no, I know zero about college basketball, March Madness. And Yashak is saying, safe to say that immediate reinfection is extremely unlikely. Yeah, that's what I heard. Like, it might show up in some tests and whatnot, but that's more of a testing thing than a real recontracting it early thing. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this enough. Not a virologist. But I informed myself as well as I could. And I'm very obsessive. Siona is saying smokers should pay 3 times the amount of healthcare tax as non-smokers. Yeah. Not going to defend smokers anyway. Micro is saying Jan is a secret virologist. I don't know. I feel like playing Plague Inc. And I didn't just play the virus version. I played the bacteria. I played the prion. I still don't know what that is. I played the parasite. I feel like I've studied all these pandemics. I'm doing well now, no? Coach, what went wrong here? I could grab the pawn with bishop f2, but this might be one of these rare scenarios where I might let a pawn be a pawn and go for a bigger price. Sleepy Mara saying, strongly disagree with smoker's tax. Yeah, I think so do I, but seems like not the discussion to be had today. Probably could have done better here, but I am doing pretty well. Speaking of pretty well, I haven't seen the latest Kirby Enthusiasm. Is there a Corona theme? So good, by the way. Larry David is 72, still bringing it. Shout out to Larry David. What a genius. Larry, if you're watching, appreciate you. I'm guessing he's watching. That B2 was pretty good too. But, you know, it's a fairly sad situation for Giroud 90. Hmm. 2 pawns down, 3 isolated pawns. Knight on the rim. Coach, what say you? Would you resign here, coach? I've been told it's important to not let them pieces out. Something along those lines. Probably not exactly what I've been told. But you get the idea. King on the rim is dim. Giroud. Let it go, like Elsa did. All right. Thanks for the game, Giroud. I think you could have spared your coach some misery there the last 2-3 minutes. But yeah, it was an interesting game. Thank you. Ugh, now it's all smoking talk. I don't like smoking talk all that much. Penguin Duo saying, how did you compensate for the decreased coolness experience when not smoking? I don't know. The thing is, once you're a family guy, no Peter Griffin pun intended, you spend all your time either at home or at quote-unquote work. Work in my case being chess or the Chess 24 offices. Then there's not much coolness factor in standing outside in the Hamburg rain at home, smoking a cigarette alone. Like, I'm a child of the 90s when there was a thing, especially for shy kids like me. Everyone was smoking, not an excuse, but you know, it's easy to pick it up as a teenager, and we all know how tough it is to get rid of it. But I feel that coolness factor doesn't really exist in our society anymore, right? It's more frowned upon in the 2010s, 2020s, which obviously is a good thing. It doesn't make it easier to quit. But I do not think that smoking has a coolness factor in 2020. All right, let's play more chess, because chess has a tremendous coolness factor. That's why we do it, right? That's why I started all these things. I was thinking, how can I become even cooler as an awkward 42 kilo? Nah, I must have weighed more. 43 kilo, 13-year-old. And I thought, more chess, more smoking. No, I stopped smoking. I started smoking after later, 16, 17, some dumb age, when the cool kids were already quitting. Mr. Dodger is saying farting is more socially acceptable than smoking nowadays. That's what I'm saying here. There's no cool factor anymore. My crew is asking, how's the weather in Hamburg? Same as always. Mild rain, 5 degrees or whatever it is. That's not super cold, but not pleasant to be outside. So yeah, Hamburg weather we call it. Against the pieces. Oh, he's good. He pinned me. But I should wake up and focus, because he's against the pieces. D5, I go here. Baby Night saying, Jan's perfect fitness attribute of non-smoking, smoking less. My fitness is far from perfect. And also, well, I really don't want to make this into a smoking show. I've always worked out when I was smoking or not smoking, but yeah, clearly you can feel it when you're a smoker. That your breathing is not great because of your smoking. That's why it was upsetting to me that, I don't know, if it's this asthma thing, I need to get myself checked out a little better when this corona thing is over, because I think doctors have other stuff to do right now and I'm fine. But it was upsetting that I thought, okay, finally clean, and now I have a new weird breathing thing. Finally I can get some air, I thought. Anyway. Yashak is saying, thank God that coolness thing has worked out so well for you. ... Wow. Are you calling me not cool? That's so hurtful, Yashak. Did not expect this from you after we bonded over all the corona stuff. That's even more heartbreaking than all the money I lost today. Bishop f5, can you go f3, e4 here? I don't know, but it looks kind of tempting. Usually f3 we're taught, then c5 is the reply. With the bishop on f5, does that still apply? Maybe it does, I'm not sure. The reasoning is that after you played f3, e3 is a little weakened, so after c5 you can't just go dc5 and we can play that IQP position. But here I thought e4... Looks dangerous for white. Baby Knight is saying, ironic, in last banter we hoped that Bangkok Open won't get cancelled due to coronavirus. Sadly it did. Yeah, it did. Also, first of all, it's sad. I think they're trying to postpone it till October, so I very much hope that the Bangkok Open will still happen in 2020. And for me, I had mixed feelings. Of course, it was sad that they had to cancel it. But I was hoping I could make it in October because I was assuming that I'd be doing commentary at the Grenke Masters, which now I'm not sure if it's going to happen or not. But it was clashing this year with the Bangkok Open. So I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. Anish Giri had that theory that I created the coronavirus in order to make the Bangkok Open in 2020, which is untrue. But I do hope to make it there. Gotta defend that corona that I won there, that crown. All right, against the pieces, blundered one of his pieces, therefore he resigned. So Doji is saying Grenke Masters will be hilariously rescheduled to October. That could happen, yeah. Let's play against Panu Redu. What time is it, by the way? Since I started late, I feel like I've been going for 8 hours straight because I feel so bad about the delay. I don't have a good reason other than hanging with the family. Then again, maybe that is a good reason. Because wasn't it Vito Corleone that said, a man that does not spend time with his family is not a man? I don't know. Did he say that? Vito? Sounds like something he would say. We are playing the Catalan against Panu Redu. Come on. Queen a4. Boring. Cthulhu saying, let's just keep going. Mini Bantathon. Now, sorry, I have so much stuff to do. Can't do it. Opening clinic, candidates, planning. Yeah, I've talked about some of the open questions and so on. So, a lot of balls in the air. Cthulhu is confirming there was veto. Yeah, that's what I thought. By the way, that guy, he said it to... was that character based on Sinatra? Because Sinatra is supposed to be very cool, no? And that guy in the Godfather movie was not very cool. Wow, CP Cowtard. That's too dark even for me to read out. Whoa. Cthulhu saying that was Johnny Fontaine. Yeah. That is who we're talking about. As for the game, I'm doing fine. I'm not sure if I'm doing better than fine. Comfortable, but white is very solid in all these positions. Panorado spending some time now. It's not that easy to make a move because he would like to put this knight on d2 and let's say b3. If it goes to c3, it can get pushed around with b4 eventually or directly. So not an easy decision. I understand why he took a little bit of time. I don't know what to do as usual. b4, knight a4. I could not see a lot of progress. We'll see. a3. If I go a5, then knight takes b5. That's not great, right? So knight e4 maybe. Knight e4 rook c1. At least asking some questions. Cthulhu saying, I think there are better reasons to avoid mass panic. Better ways to avoid mass panic, I guess, here than making some morbid comment about the strong survive, the weak die. Yeah. I don't feel panic. Like, I was being genuine, like, that, I don't know, I just, yeah, find it strangely, I don't know, it's not a right word, but it gives you a sense of purpose, no? Like, we need to figure out how to deal with this thing. So, yeah, obviously, panic, not good. Not taking the thing seriously, also not good. So I'm just curious. Or, yeah, just curious. I don't know. I don't have the right words. I'm not that smart or empathetic, but I am very curious and very poor because of the stock market. Which, yeah, poor Jan, asking for more sympathy. I will win this game, though, against Panorado. Mr. Dodger is saying Chess24's official opinion is death comes to us all. I don't know. I listened to that Joe Rogan episode. We talked about it last time, right? With Aubrey de Grey. He said he's only 17 years away from fixing that death thing, that aging thing. Then again, he also said that 25 years ago, he also said he was like 20 years away. And then I watched the video. That dude does not look like he's defying age. He's like in his 50s. He looks like he's 100. And it's not just because of the beard. So Aubrey, if you're watching, not buying what you're selling. Still, if you have it, give it. So she's saying Aubrey is also pretty drunk. Yeah, I also wasn't sure of his policy of drinking 3, 4, 5. And he says 3, 4 a day. We don't know if that's the real number. Beers a day and quite some whiskey. no water. I'm not sure if that guy is the source we should turn to for eternal youth. Then again, I'm very unsure about most things. Pretty sure I'll win this game. Mr. Dodger is saying, let me have 6 drinks and I'll explain to you how I'm going to live forever. Please don't. Or have your 6 drinks. But don't explain it. Check. End of calculating. Thanks for the game, Panuredu. Alright, I'll play one more, then we'll wrap this up and I'll go back to all my other worries. Let's play Telemoose. Quickie. ATC Faust is saying, at least we already know what the word of the year 2020 will be. I don't know. You think Banter Blitz cannot be contained anymore as the word of the year 2020? I think there must be other candidates, no? Like, can't think of one right now. Caruana, maybe? Queen c2. Why not queen b3? I thought that's what you guys do, Taylor Moose. Queen b3, queen b6, c5. Sionin is saying Master Jan sounds really kinky. Interesting choice of words. Kinky. The thing is, we call our friend Luke Kink in one of them chats. So I associate different things with kinky than the rest of the world. But I'll take it as a compliment. I've been to kink many a time. What's going on here? Let me focus on the chess. Found the most boring way to play. Boom! Knight or rook? Both look very boring. Let's go knight. That's just bad. Ugh. Knight e4 mistake, rook c8 check, and then knight e4, knight g5 would have been kind of bad news. Oh, bah. Ay, ay, ay. All right, let's do all the boring stuff. Bring the kings. I'm planning to win this position, just so you know, Taylor Moose. I don't know how yet, but I'm very much planning to win it. I'm like Anish Giri in the candidates, in it to win it. Still don't quite know how. He offers a draw, which I will not accept, because I want to win. Please let me win. I don't know, your strong motivation to end this game peacefully. It's a bit of a turn-off. Not gonna lie. Bit of a turn-off. So how do we win this? Probably by making moves. I don't think this is a non-making moves position somehow. Oh, threats. Threats emerge. Pawns. Pawn threats. Okay, I might lose. But I tried to win. Hang on, he gave me the pawn. Now he resigns. Probably he thought I would take the pawn that he gave me. Anyway, tough final battle against Telemus. Thank you so much for that last game. That's it for today. Stay safe, everybody. I'm not a virologist, but yeah, wash your hands. Like, check out that article I posted on Twitter, which I found very informative. I also enjoyed, yeah, the two Sam Harris podcasts on this thing. So yeah, I don't know. I don't freaking know, but it's challenging times, and let's all get through them. As for the candidates, I still think that will happen. Still think we will cover them, and yeah, it's exciting times ahead. But I don't know. We've never dealt with something like this, so hang in there. Thanks for watching. Bye. Oh, go premium. You have time now. Watch all those video series. Why wouldn't you?